Welcome back, everybody, to the June Open here at Arcane Games and Events. It's Mistvale. It's limited. It's time for Game 2. We're still sticking with Fuzzy. We're going to be following the Zen as he tries to take down one of the other two Zens in the pod. There are 3 Zens total. It'll be Andrew Rudin on Zen. The players are getting ready. Sam O'Byrne, Bryce Platts.
That's me.
Should we take a look at the deck?
I think we should, Sam.
Just briefly, because we can.
Let's do it.
Look at
Showcasing our beautiful new software here at Arcane Games and Events.
Taking a look here at the deck list. So you got to see the deck in action in the last match. This is going to be one of the other 2 Zens in the pod, and it's also the Zen that was passing to Fuzzy. Literally, packs 1 and 3, passing the pack. So you have to imagine the deck quality of Mr. Rudin might be slightly more, quality, as it were. But walk us through which cards really came through in the last game.
So we talked a lot about the comparison between Fuzzy's deck and Chris's deck. It's not like the streamlined, super beautifully crafted aggro deck that we saw from Chris, but it got there. And why? Because he's able to use these kind of clunkier ninja cards that we've talked about before, like Companion of the Claw. And basically he just takes whatever damage comes his way and utilizes 2 blue pitch cards instead of 1. So he finds his value completely on the offensive rather than on, a 1-card defense like Chris would, and then a super clean 1-pitch card turn following it up.
Sure.
So it's not like hardcore aggro like we saw Chris do, but it can grind games out. Even though the last match we saw was kind of just he and France throwing haymakers at each other over and over again.
Well, if there's one thing we can expect about a Zen Mirror, we might be in for a similar ride at the rodeo to ninjas just comboing off towards each other until only one is left standing.
Yeah. Okay, and without any further ado, here we go. Fuzzy Delp versus Andrew Rudin.
Andrew Rudin, 4-0 on Zen versus Fuzzy Delp, 4-0 on Zen. Both these players looking mighty good for our top 8 here. You can see both of those ninjas just giving us the ice-cold stare, similar to the players as they stare down each other's deck lists. Feature pod, of course, getting access to the deck list. Given that Fuzzy's deck is public information, why should we make it significantly harder on only him?
Exactly, and that's going to be a bit of a problem for Fuzzy. We're showcasing kind of the weirdness of open deck lists when we have cloaked equipment, right? And so Fuzzy, we saw in the last game, was unable to activate his Heirloom of Tiger Hide, probably because Franz knew it was there and knew to just never get him down to 1. So we'll see if that ends up being a factor in this game against Andrew Rudin.
Another member of the Arcane Games Events Pro team taking on a member of the Pitch It To Me podcast team. So these are 2 deeply entrenched players within not only the Flesh and Blood lore, but also the game itself. 2 players who, devote a lot of time, a lot of energy into this, our favorite hobby, but it looks as though the Kakaras are being laid out. Zen has gripped his staff with speed and alacrity. Both players have access to the Stride of Reprisal, but 1 extra piece of cloaked equipment there for Fuzzy. Looks as though players are getting ready. It's time for game number 5 total, 2 of this pod. Both players here 4-0. It's going to be a Ninja Mirror. Let's get after it.
Looks like Fuzzy is on the play. Unfortunately, finding that evasive leap in his opening hand, which can be a little clunky, probably going to be his arsenal target on this turn 0.
Yeah. Players
or an overpitch.
Having a little bit of a laugh, but the evasive leap, if it does end up in the arsenal, there are worse cases, worse scenarios for your turn 0. You establish a defensive piece nice and early, even if you can't get any damage across.
Ooh, looks like he's going to go for the turn 0 transcend. And this is so amazing. So rarely do Zens get to play this attack reaction. Does he have it? Does he not? Kind of game plan. But here is Andrew staring down one of these water mystic attacks. And Fuzzy locked and loaded with a transcend card.
Yeah, the Rising Sun Setting Moon also might provide him with a little optionality. If he doesn't like that evasive leap and wants a different card for the arsenal, he can choose whatever comes off the top of the deck. Although, I wonder how he's going to utilize the pitch card. He might not be able to, because if he doesn't give any go again, that pitch card's probably going to just hang out in the hand for his next turn, so combo's going to be possible on the next one.
That is true, and he could just elect to kind of IP himself a little bit, guarantee that there's a blue next in his next hand, because you probably would rather have that than a Crouching Tiger preventing you from drawing up to 4.
Yeah, and I do believe there's no other way other than just activating the Zen ability. You don't want to do so if you can't utilize the cards, right? So I think he is just going to go ahead and have to keep the Chi in his hand, though that does mean on his next turn, depending on whatever Andrew Rudin is able to throw back Fuzzy's way, he's just going to have access to Zen ability on demand.
And this is still a good situation for Fuzzy because Zen often runs into situations where he doesn't have a clean way to actually use that Transcend card. And so having done it early on in the game just means that Fuzzy can wait for the wheel and know that he's going to have a power turn later on in this game.
All right, let's see. It's going to be a Companion of the Claw starting off. They're looking for dice. They found the dice. This one's coming in at 4-4. Going to have to go again. Going to create the Crouching Tiger thanks to pitch in the blue. Let's see if Andrew wants to go ahead and grab that tiger.
There we go.
Might make it a little easier on him.
Ooh, sporting a Marvel Tiger in the hand.
Didn't know you could open that in Part the Mist Veil, but Andrew Rudin showing why he's better in all ways at this game. Managing to open the marbles. That's going to be 4 damage across the table. Fuzzy Delp down to 16 to Andrew's 19.
Let's see how he chooses to follow up here. He's a little bit resource starved here. Yeah, I think he's going to pitch that red just to make sure that he gets value on this red Chi Unleashed. And that's okay. It is a little bit clunky from a pitch standpoint, but it's still a lot of damage coming through in a match that is very dependent on getting life totals down super quick.
Yeah, 11 damage total is not the ceiling of what Zen decks can do. Even in Limited, we can see them really put on a lot of work. 4 cards for 11 damage is just ever so slightly under like classic rate, but it is limited. You can't always expect to get 3+ value out of each one of your cards. However, if Fuzzy wants to take all of this, he's going to put him down well below half his starting life total. Looks like he might be setting up a Breed Anger for the block. And utilize that evasive leap from turn 0. So only 1 damage taken from the Chi Unleashed. And now got an Inner Chi in the hand. Got maybe a fact-finding mission in the hand as well as a Companion of the Claw, or a Harmony of the Hunt, I think.
Harmony of the Hunt. And it's in the blue, donated to the pitch. I think we're going to see a Zen activation here, Sam. Andrew says, what are you pitching
Yeah,
for?
exactly. I'd just like to pitch this, please. I don't really want it in my hand anymore. And now it's time to just go ahead and grab a card with combo plus a Crouching Tiger here. One floating.
Fuzzy does have a yellow Chi Unleashed. Might not have the resources to pay for it, so it might just be, yeah, the red Breed Anger seems very reasonable here.
3 red Breed Angers in Fuzzy's list. This can do a lot of work if it attacks with Crouching Tiger as the last attack on the chain. Can you get go again and create a Crouching Tiger in the banish zone? Looks as though Andrew is just saying, send me the bill, my friend.
Andrew thinks about blocking a 0-cost attack real quick. Ever the jester when he plays this game. Not only is he talented, he's also funny. He's also got the looks. What more could you ask for, Sam?
It's going to be a Wind Chakra now coming down, giving the next attack +3. For go again here. The Wind Chakra only affects the Crouching Tiger.
That is correct, sir.
Go. So just going to give the Crouching Tiger +3. So 3 damage theoretically coming across once that Crouching Tiger is created, thanks to the Companion of the Claw.
And then what was that last card in his hand, Sam? Did you catch it?
I didn't see it. No, he's been hiding it.
Oh, sneaky. He has cloaked the last card in his hand from the casters.
So
Oh, it's a Water the Seeds. Curious if he decides to keep it in arsenal. Nah, he just says go for it. The time is now to kill my opponent.
You can see when grabbing that Crouching Tiger from the Strata Reprisal block, as Fuzzy just did. Fuzzy's attempting to do some major damage on the turn, so the Water the Seed's going to go ahead and pressure that still 5-card hand, even after a 1-card block at the Pouncey Cheek, going to go ahead and continue the blocking efforts, but now it's time for a Crouching Tiger for 4, thanks to the Water the Seeds and the Wind Chakra. No Kakara needed for that extra +1, just the Water the Seed's going to go ahead and shore that up. A lot of damage threatened. Fuzzy down to 11. Got a Crouching Tiger in the hand thanks to the Stride of Reprisal. 11 plays 12 here. As the Kakara is the first attack for Fuzzy.
Another 4-card 11 for Andrew, though. Not the numbers that he wants to be putting up, like you said, but I guess he's just happy keeping it at life parity. Battlefront Bastion covers it up nice.
Very nice for the Battlefront Bastion here. Going to go ahead, cover up the Kakara, cover up the Crouching Tiger, and then once again, Breed Anger coming across, comboing, making a Crouching Tiger in the Banish Zone that can be played. It looks like Andrew might be looking for a Stride of Reprisal block of his own.
Looking like we have yellow as the pitch card in Andrew's hand for next turn.
Tiger for 0.
Has the Untamed. Probably another 1 cost. It looks like the bleeding has been stemmed for the most part. Luckily, Fuzzy didn't have a super strong follow-up after that Breed Anger. I was kind of expecting to see that Emissary of Wind come down at the end of that chain. That would have been a backbreaker for Andrew.
And this will be interesting because Fuzzy has now, established another arsenal after the evasive leap. Andrew's just been playing 4-card hand after 4-card hand, not taking any moment to breathe, not taking any moment to stop. There's going to be a Breed Anger here. Biting Breeze coming across. 3, go again. If it hits, going to make Crashing Tiger. However, we already have one thanks to the Stride of Reprisal. Going to still buy a block. Pouncing Chi the block. Untamed, going to continue the chain here. 4 with go again. Going to give +1 to the next Crouching Tiger, and that is a Crouching Tiger that Andrew created thanks to the Stride.
And I like that sequencing from Andrew because just in case Fuzzy had let that hit, the Biting Breeze would have created the Tiger in Banish Zone. He would have been able to play that this turn and save one for Arsenal, which, as we talked about in some of our previous games, Crouching Tiger is just not a bad Arsenal target. Really nice to have it on demand to clean up some of those turns where you don't have easy Tiger generators.
Here we go. Fuzzy taking that 4 down to 7. You can see Andrew having a bit of a think. 1 card in Arsenal, 3 cards still in hand. Coming in for 1 now with that Crouching Tiger, thanks to the Untamed. Fuzzy down to 6.
Yeah, another slightly clunky hand for Andrew, just because that pitch card only paid for 1 thing. If that was a blue, that would have equaled 3 more damage from the Kakara and the buff on that Tiger.
And still no Arsenal for Andrew, just playing off the top once again. Flex Claws coming in. If it hits, going to create a Crouching Tiger. That can be played from the Banish Zone, but it's also just importantly a 1 for 4 with go again here.
And what do we like to say if we're Zen?
4.
4.
4, baby, 4.
Mm-hmm.
More 4s. So like a couple of droplets, or at least a couple of those water mystic cards for Andrew.
I think you're right. I think they were both droplets. Andrew says, yep, that sounds good.
I don't care about your Flex Claws. Take your Tiger. I'm going down to 5, big dog.
Let's see if the gamble pays off. Let's see how much Fuzzy needs that Tiger. And I think Andrew was kind of pigeonholed into saying no blocks there because he would have had to commit 2 cards to that block. That's just not somewhere you want to be.
All of a sudden, the Tiger created means the Kakara always is going to be able to give a point of value. And so, yes, Fuzzy just going to go ahead and push that forward onto the combat chain. Zen swinging the Kakara around his shoulders and trying to crack it across his opponent's face, who also happens to be Zen in this scenario.
So Zen
fighting
is
a mirror. He's fighting a mirror.
Yeah, he's standing in front of a mirror trying to break it before his reflection does.
Exactly. Before the terror of self-actualization comes to.
It's coming for us all.
It comes for us all.
Zen is no exception.
2 damage with go again, and of course the Crouching Tiger in the Banish Zone looking forward to accepting the +1 bonus from the Kakara.
I think Andrew's wondering just how bad the rest of this turn could possibly be, because he does have kind of an interesting hand. He could play the blue Biting Breeze, potentially rip a card from Fuzzy, but not in this case.
4 Pouncing Chi coming in after the Crouching Tiger here. Now, if the cloaked piece of equipment is the heirloom of the Tiger hide, this is when Andrew would want to go down to 1.
Yeah, I think he flipped it earlier, and we know that it's a Skybody Kikoi. So he could potentially block with 1 of those 2 blocks and go down to 1. But if his plan is to play one of those blue cards, that really doesn't feel good. I think if Andrew was a little healthier, he could have taken all this, play the blue Biting Breeze at the beginning of it, potentially create the Tiger because nobody wants to block a 1-cost attack. Then he would have had access to a droplet fully activated up to 4 and still be able to play as Untamed. Could have been a really nice turn off of a really blue flooded hand.
So there you go. Andrew going to go ahead and just take the 1 damage, flip over the Kikoi for that prevent 1 effect post-cloaking. So got 3 cards to work with. It's going to be an Untamed. It's going to come in for 4 and then most likely 2 into 2. So, 10 damage off your 3 cards is very nice if you're Andrew here. Is that going to be enough to force him meaningful blocks from his mirror match Zen opponent? Fuzzy sitting at 6, going to commit a card to block. It's that foil Shifting Winds, the Mystic Beast. But it looks like it's the last card that Fuzzy will have to block with on this turn.
Indeed, and block Fuzzy does not want to do, especially when your opponent is at 1 and you are able to create cards in your hand that swing for 1 every single turn.
But looks like it might be a clunky enough hand for Fuzzy that he's going to put another card in front of the Tiger Tamer Kakara here before taking the 2 from the droplet, heading down to 3. So 3 plays 1 now. 2 cards in hand, 1 in arsenal. Kakara is now a lethal attack for Andrew, who has to face down the Kakara, and then whatever cards are hiding in the arsenal in hand here for Fuzzy. So he's navigated this game rather well on that evasive leap. If he hadn't had that, turn 0, hey, look at that. He's sitting at 3. That's the 3 life that the evasive leap got him right to start this game.
Too true, Sam. Too true. Yeah, he was very happy to see that arsenal target right there. Covering up a 7-cost attack is just a happy thing. Andrew in the tank. I think what's going through his head is likely, can Fuzzy create a tiger? Because that makes everything so much more difficult.
Flex Claw is going to be the block here, and it is a Breed Anger, so this is just 4 damage. No go again, but the go again isn't the important part. The important part is the 4, the break point that Andrew Rudin now has to deal with, and that's going to take 2 cards out of the hand. And the Kakara, if Andrew wants to just use that as the swing back, that's not even going to pressure anything out of Fuzzy's hand here.
In fact, it'll probably provide anti-pressure because Fuzzy will say, I'm wearing an heirloom of tiger. You really want to swing 2 at me?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll have to see. Obviously, it will depend on how clunky Fuzzy's hand is because he is such a disciplined player. He will throw a useless card in front of this, I would imagine.
See, 2 Tiger Form incantations in the hand there for Fuzzy. Looks like, see if we can get a better look. Not quite easily able to discern what those 4 cards are. I do still see. I think it's a tie. No, not.
I think you were right. I think we have 2 incantations.
Yeah, Companion of the Claw might be that final card in the back. So.
Indeed.
I have to see exactly.
Ooh, I think that second from the left card is finally our Emissary of Wind.
Yeah, you're right about that. That's
unconditional 0 cost 4.
That's
he says, let's take it. Let's show the chess piece.
Heirloom of Tiger Hide here.
Form incantation. 2 floating, put a tiger in hand.
I do believe that was both of his red Tiger Form incantations. Oh, this is going to be a nasty turn.
Yeah, let's see exactly how he wants to split up the damage. Next Crouching Tiger gets +3.
Lucky for Andrew, he's got a full grip of 3 blocks, which may be great, especially because these tigers are going to be coming in for far more than 1.
Yeah, well, I think this is now going to make this tiger coming in for 4, which is going to buy 2 cards out of Andrew's hand. This might spell the end of the game. Let's see exactly what Fuzzy is able to continue with from here. Only 1 card left in Andrew's hand, and if this is a 4 attack, which I believe, like you called out, it is, that's going to buy the last card out of the hand. Andrew is going to go ahead and extend the fist bump, and Fuzzy Delp moves on.
Boy, howdy.
Boy, howdy. Taking the camera over his shoulder the entirety of the draft and saying, come along with me to Victory City. I don't care if all the people at home are getting to watch this draft. I will continue my quest to go undefeated here at the AGE Open, and Fuzzy's looking quite nice.
And furthermore, I don't care if these naysaying commentators think my deck is less good than Chris Iali's because Michael and I were a little bit skeptical. I mean, we saw a massively powerful deck in that first pod, and Fuzzy's definitely isn't that, but boy, is he getting it there.
Absolutely, and I like, every draft pod is so different, tells a different story, and so much of it comes down to the actual pilots playing the games, and Fuzzy here has done it rather well. We're going to go ahead and take a very brief interlude as we bring Fuzzy on in to hear about the draft process, because that player is definitely locked for top 8, and if I had my druthers, I would say that I think Andrew might be nice and locked up in there as well. So both of those players are going to be hanging out with us in the top 8 later, more than likely. But before we move on to any of those games, let's go ahead and hear from Fuzzy about his process, about the games, and about the rest of the tournament. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break and hear from Fuzzy. Welcome back, everybody, to the AG Open here in Redondo Beach, California. And I am joined by Mr. Fuzzy Delp. Look at you, Mr. 5-0. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I had a draft just yesterday. I've been playing online a lot, and when you play online a lot, it's like, am I picking up bad habits? Are things going is it not realistic environment? So I'm training improperly. And then I went to a paper draft yesterday and went 1-3.
Yeah,
I was 1 of 5 news in a 10-man pod.
Feels
Today
good.
I'm doing a lot better. I'm very happy about that.
Nice. Wonderful. Well, a lot better is an understatement, as you are currently undefeated, nice and locked for the top 8.
Yeah.
So we all got to, at home, watch your draft process. We've gone through the deck. Take us just into the mind of the drafter, himself. As you're drafting the deck, you grabbed that first card, pack one, pick one. You said, all right, I'm Zen. I'm Zen, I'm Ninja, I don't care. Even though
Remember what I grabbed?
you grabbed a pouncing chi or something.
Pouncing Key is pretty dang good.
That's
yeah.
what it was, right? I think it was pack one, pick one was pouncing.
That sounds like me.
Something like that. But talk to me about your going through the process, even though, it ended up being that the person passing to you was Ninja. It didn't matter. You just defeated them in that last game. So, but talk to me about that process.
I try to stay relatively open. Like, if you decide pack one, pick one what you're playing, there's always a chance it can bite you in the butt when you go to the end and you realize, oh, there's like 4 of this hero in this pod. I should have been like pivoting off of them. Pouncing Key is really good, and I like Zen a lot. He's my favorite hero to play in this draft.
Okay.
He's the one that I'm most pleased to be in playing, like the one that I can predict the most success with, I think. I think he's the strongest. Like, if you think of the different heroes as, this is going a little off topic, as like a triangle, people say that a lot, that like Zen beats Enigma, Enigma beats New, New beats Zen. I think even in that triangle, if Zen's hardest matchup is New, I think that's a lot better than like some of the other difficult matchups out there. That
Then like New versus Enigma.
yeah. So I'm very happy to be playing Zen. I think he's the strongest hero. So I'm very comfortable taking a pack one, pick one for a strong combo card. And like, I just need to make sure I'm keeping my options open, right? That when I'm seeing the other cards pass to me, I'm trying to read the signals. Maybe I didn't read the signals very well. I wasn't really expecting Andrew Rudin to be Zen as well. But I feel like I got enough cards. There was enough stuff flowing my way. Because I think there was 3 Zens in the pod.
And Chris was 2 seats down from you, so you were passing 2 seats to Chris. Andrew was passing to you. But I was watching your draft too, and I couldn't tell exactly. I was like, Andrew's either Enigma or Zen, but I couldn't quite tell.
I definitely stopped trying to count all the cards in the packs at one point. Maybe I could have done a better job of like really making sure that I'm in the right hero. But I don't think there were too many big power cards for other heroes that I could have dipped into. Andrew said that there was a lot of Enigma stuff going on, but Enigma is my least favorite hero to be playing in the draft, so I might have gotten a little bit blinders on.
Well, I think it's, natural for even as a player, if you have certain inclinations about the decks that you feel the most comfortable playing, the decks that you feel the strongest, you might not, there's might be all the signals in the world to play Enigma, but you're like, dude, I'm just not as good at playing Enigma as I am as playing Zen.
Right.
I know that when I play certain in CC, if I play certain just like straight aggressive decks and my brain turns off, I have less fun. I play way worse because I'm just like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'll just not block. And sometimes like I totally should be blocking.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, you got the top 8 coming up. We know you probably won't be drafting Enigma, but we'll see. Talk to me a little bit about just the Mistvale, not necessarily classic constructed journey, but just the Mistvale metagame, heavy hitters moving into Mistvale for you as a player. I know you guys on the podcast are always up there chefing some great ideas.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your recent flesh and blood goings on as you get ready for a top 8 here at the AGE Open.
Well, I was playing Katsu for a while in CC, but after playing Katsu at Nats, I had like a weird Nats run where I lost most of my CC games, but I won most of my limited games. So I guess I'm better at limited.
Yeah, and maybe right now. At least
Sure.
at least the results.
Sure.
Sure.
So I don't really have a CC hero right now. I know next month I'm probably going to try playing Zen, but I don't have any reps in Zen, so I'm really like lost wandering through the CC metagame, like not sure what my future
Briar.
holds. I have like a little pet Levia deck, but it's not like a competitive build. It's not like I'm trying to go very far with it. I do miss Briar. I'm very excited for Rosetta in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people are excited about whatever is being cooked up over there in New Zealand, in Aria, in New Zealand and in Aria. I'm not sure exactly where the crossover is, but I have to imagine it's Queenstown. So you meddled around a little bit with Katsu, meddled around a little bit with Zen coming up, which makes sense. That's a pretty natural transition, and then perhaps Rosetta in the future. You headed to the world premiere for Rosetta?
Well, I just flew over to Minneapolis, and I have to keep my travel budget really light. But it does sound like a dream.
Right.
So who knows?
Who knows? All right. Well, anything you want to tell the people at home about the podcast, about what's going on in the world of Pitch It To Me?
We've been doing Pitch It To Me podcast for 1 year now, and I'm super proud of our show. I'm really happy with how it's been going. To celebrate our 1 year anniversary, we are streaming an episode live on YouTube. So if you go to Pitch It To Me podcast on our YouTube channel, you can see like there's a link to the live stream right there. We're going to be streaming tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's coming up right up.
That's exciting. Well, what can people, give us a pitch
Yeah.
the podcast to me, my friend.
So we're trying to appeal to the more casual Flesh and Blood player, but really, like, there's a lot of reasons why you might enjoy Flesh and Blood. If you like the design of the cards and you want to hear people just talk about the game, that's what we're doing. So we try to have a wide variety of topics. For this episode in particular, I can give you a little bit of the outline so you can come prepared. But we're going to be talking about what classes we would add to the game if we could.
Oh,
and we
cool.
want to hear from our audience as well. Like I said, it's a live episode.
Cool.
So we're planning on engaging with the viewers that come in and tune in. So you can tell us your opinions, and we'll tell you right there in real time what we think of your ideas.
That we hate it and never listen to the show again. No.
We're going to be talking about our favorite episodes in the past. It's our 1 year anniversary, so we're going to get a little bit nostalgic. And I'm so sorry, Sam, I can't remember the other thing.
That's okay. You don't have to apologize to me. I just want to know a little bit of the flavor. I think.
As soon as I step out of this room, I'm going to remember the other thing. But we have a packed agenda for our live stream, so we're really excited about it. And everyone's going to love everything that we're here to talk about.
Well,
So.
and clearly you know what you're talking about, Mr. 5-0 here at the AG Open. Well, congrats on the run so far. Good luck in your last game, and more importantly, good luck in that top 8 draft. I know there'll be people at home following along. For those of you who are watching at home, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, let the rest of the round finish up for all the players out there, and then we'll probably be watching a win and in for the top 8 in the next round. So
Cool.
the
High stakes.
the tension,
Uh-huh.
it just ratchets up from here. Just ratchets up. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a couple minutes.